but to sleep, the window's better.
Oh, maybe, yeah. It depends who you're next to, because then you just like, and then you have the extra space, and you don't feel trapped.
I never feel trapped. Nah, that's criminal. That's criminal. Actually, to be fair, if you're in the middle, I think you should get both armrests. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Because the middle is the
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Nice to see you. Welcome back to the assembly. We haven't had an assembly in some time. Last time we had a preaching conference, so that was our time when we came together. And today it really is a special one because it's the end of the academic year. We are going to have a few important announcements as well. And yeah, it's just a time to come together because it's not stressful time just yet, right? Before the stressful time begins, especially for the students. So we are going to start with worship as always, and I'm just going to say we do have, because this is a final assembly and we have 2 more weeks roughly until students move out, we finish with all the commitments formally with this part of the academic year. Some people also finishing their studies here, their time at Newbold. Is it for BA, is it for MA, is it for year in mission, and so on. So it is a little bit of time of farewells as well, but it's time of celebration in that kind of a sense. So we do want to welcome those who are also online, and hopefully they're going to enjoy participating with us as well today. Now, important thing is, because we have a lovely group of year in mission again, they are going to have now a few days of final worship leading. So in a way it starts today, so I'm just going to invite them to lead this part of worship. Thank you, guys.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, it's afternoon now. Good afternoon, everybody. Oh, I'm going to ask that again. Good afternoon, everybody. Oh, that's lovely. I feel welcome now. So we're going to sing Heart of Worship. Ultimately, everything that we do should center around that heart posture. So I invite you all to stand as we sing our opening song.
Heavenly Father, we're just grateful that we came to the end of another academic year here at Newbold. And even though there are a few more days and weeks to finish all of the exams and assignments, we are just praying for especially all the students as they're giving now their final efforts for this year. Please be with them, be with their lecturers and everyone who is supporting them as well, so that they can truly not just succeed, but enjoy this whole process. We are grateful for our community that we have here, in person, online, whole college and a wider community that we have. We are praying for your blessings as we are finishing this year, but also as we are looking forward to the years that are ahead of us. We just want to recognize that this is a place where we get opportunity not just to connect with each other, enjoy wonderful times, but truly to connect with you in the most meaningful way that we can. So I'm just, dear Lord, praying that now as we are closing slowly the year, that we can all reflect on the experiences that we have had and on everything that you have provided for us. Sometimes pleasant, sometimes not so pleasant, but we know it was for our benefit and growth. We are praying that you are with us also during this assembly. In Jesus' name, amen. You may be seated. All right, so as I mentioned, we are going to have a few things today in the program that we don't usually have in the assemblies during the year, but there is one element that we always have, and that is announcements. So there are a few things just to share with you before the year ends. Some of these things is for the whole community, some of the things are more for the students and so on. So first of all, tonight we have our closing final experience, and it's going to be more of an open mic. We are going to have a special speaker as well, but it's going to be your opportunity to come and share, if you would like to share something that is on your heart from this semester, from this year, maybe a song, a poem, spoken word, not a sermon of 30 minutes, please. Whatever it might be on your mind, and just for us to spend some time together in that special environment at the experience. So 8 o'clock tonight in the Student Hub. Then we have something we were praying for it, we were hoping for it, and so on, and we can announce now that this Friday evening we are going to have bonfire Vespers. So as you probably could see, the forecast is going to be very nice. It should be like 18, 19 degrees on Friday, no rain, all of that. So we are going to meet next to the sports hall, the field, right? And we are going to have a nice Vespers, more relaxed, so to say, with a big fire, and just some time to spend together. So you're all invited for that, and church youth also are going to be invited for this to join. So 8 o'clock next to the sports hall. There are going to be some marshmallows, and everyone is looking at me. Do they have? Yes, I don't know. We'll see what the label says and all of that. Anyway, okay. So a few more things just as reminders as well. Year in Mission certificate ceremony is taking place this Saturday afternoon. So 3 o'clock in this room here, we are going to have 3 cohorts of Year in Mission. So those who were studying here in spring last year, 2025, those of you who remember them, so quite a few of them are coming, and 2 of them are with us at the moment as well. Then we have also autumn 2025, so the group that is now, and they have been on a mission trip, few of them are coming as well, and then the current cohort of Year in Mission. So 3 groups, we expect to have about 20 students attending, so it's going to be wonderful. So you're invited to attend if you can as well. NSA Banquet, I know that Laken is going to share a little bit more about that in just a minute. And another reminder about the anniversary that we have this year. Please, if you can, if you're able, travel arrangements, all of that, holidays, just book that weekend. It's going to be really big here at Newbold to celebrate 125 years of Newbold. And as you know, it's also award ceremony weekend, and Serena is going to share a little bit about that in a minute as well. Just 2 things from my side for halls of residence. So this is a reminder for students staying in halls of residence. Family housing, different arrangement, don't worry about it. So schoolhouse, more clothes, please let me know as soon as you know your plans to depart. year in mission, they'll be leaving next week. And then other students, when the exams are finished and the final day is... Oh, well done, Adam. All right, 10th of May, Sunday is going to be the final day to move out. So please do let me know as soon as you can. Additional point, because it does happen from time to time, people just go, they leave their room. So please, there is just a form that we need to sign. You hand in the key, all is good, and life goes on. So please do have that in mind. Thank you very much. If you have any questions for that, just let me know. All right. Few announcements on my side from the library that we got. I will need to read this together with you because there are a few things. All right. Students are kindly asked to return all books to the library before they leave the campus. Especially if you are going far away or something like that, don't let the library suffer. Thank you. Students are also kindly asked to clear their study desks, very important, and check the lost property box. Library will be open for longer during revision and exam week. Please get in touch with Andre. Maybe Olgica and Evena can help with more information if you need that. And then you have opening hours for May to June that are a little bit different from what you have during the semester. So if you have any additional questions to that, please do talk to librarians about it. All right, now I'm going to invite Serena Santona, our academic registrar, who has some things to share with you.
That's okay. Good morning. No, good afternoon. Good afternoon. So, what do I have to say? Sorry, can you remind me? I'm sorry. Oh, yes. First of all, student feedback. This year, we were able to actually put them up before the end of the semester. Actually, yes. So, in all your module, you will see, no matter what the module is, that now, right there, there's a module feedback and the link. You click the link, and please, we do need your opinion so that we can improve. If we have to improve, we do. If you give us some affirmation, we can. The teachers will appreciate it. And but we really value your opinion, so please, please fill those module feedback. All right. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, just very briefly for those who are due to graduate this semester. So I have a list of around a little over 40 people. For some reason, I only got response from 24. So I think I have 15, almost 20 people that need to respond to. Oh, I see, that's another one for the graduation. No, which one is this? Yeah, for the awards ceremony. So I sent an email to the people that are supposed to graduate. Not everyone has responded. So if you're in this room and you know that you haven't responded to my email or filled the form, just do it there. And please keep on checking your emails because more information will come as we approach that date. All right? I have one more thing. It's not on this slide. Very spontaneous. I ask you for feedback. The teachers and the program boards valuing those. But we also, from an academic point of view, that is very nice. But I wanted to thank you because some of us received little messages from you at some point last month. And I don't know that it was openly acknowledged, but I really wanted to thank you for being kind to us and to affirming what we do and who we are. I think it makes a whole lot of difference for us when we know that our job is appreciated, even if sometimes what we have to do is not seen as the right thing but anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, and I really wanted to thank you, and I think I'm doing it also from on behalf of people that have received those messages and maybe they don't have the opportunity to be in front of view, and thank you as well. Also, in February, some of you, I know that some of you have done that, have really pour love into the village. And I thought that that was absolutely great. You know, I was walking to work and I saw all these little post-it around the college, around the community. I thought that was great because I was like, I woke up to work and I'm like, oh, love is in the village, and that was amazing. So with the word of Harold Kushner, I just want to say this. When you're kind to others, it not only changes you, it changes the world. So keep on being kind. Thank you.
All right, now I'm going to invite Laken on behalf of NSA just to share a few things, and then when she finishes with that, I'm going to share something that has been taking place since last evening, right? So to share the updates.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. So I just have a little announcement for NSA. As you guys know, the banquet is happening on Monday, the 27th. But we need your help as students and lecturers. If you would like to help out, that would be great. So we have to take all of these chairs out of Salisbury Hall and then take a few of the tables in from the classrooms inside here. So that will take place after Sabbath on Saturday evening. And if you guys do help out, there is a chance of food, maybe pizza, maybe something else. But we would really appreciate your help, and also it just means that it's another way to kind of spend the last part of semester together and to just, be with each other. And I think that's a great opportunity to just make one more fun event even better. So that's Saturday after Sabbath, and thank you. Be there.
Thank you. Thank you, Laken. All right, so in addition, for NSA information, as you know, we have had elections for the new NSA team who is going to be leading Student Association for the next academic year. So every year now we are basically having this at the end of the current academic year so that the team can prepare for the following year as well. So students have voted. The voting has been closed today at 11 o'clock. First of all, I do want to thank Laken and her team throughout this year. It's never easy for students, right? Studies and all of that, but thank you guys, honestly. And now you can relax and take on some other things. So the results are, well, I'm not going to read the results. You don't care about that, right? Well, we had two teams. Two teams have been led, so to say, by people who have been nominated as presidents, and then they had few people as team members. So first team that has applied was led by David. Where is it? Thank you very much, David. And the second team was led by Shoned as well. And with the final results, we can announce that the team number 2 has won. So Shoned will team. May I invite your team to come forward, just so that people see who the team is. Thank you. This is opportunity to have a 30-second speech.
Thank you so much, guys, for voting. We really appreciate it. My team is genuinely just a great experience running, and thank you to the other team for giving us such good competition. But thank you so much. We're really excited to represent you, and we really think that this group will, bring all of your ideas bring them to life. And we just want you to know that we're not just going to wait around to let things happen. We're not going to sit idly, but we're going to come to you, and we're going to talk to you and get your input and get your support, because none of this can happen without you guys, and we really are here for you. But thank you so much for voting and for trusting us to represent you well. Thank you to you.
Right. We do have quite a few things that we are preparing for student experience for the next year. We had some meeting that we had some good ideas in a meeting that we had and so on. So excited about the next year that is going to be coming. All right, now, I didn't know how to title the next part, but I'm going to invite our principal, Dr. Dan Seb, to come forward.
Hi, everyone. Well, this is really exciting. Lots of things happening. And You know, I think of Newbold as being a very dynamic place, and by nature of it being an educational institution, of course, there's a lot of growth that takes place, movement, and a lot of change. And it is up to us to choose how we regard change. As students, of course, you know, I'm sure that you are looking forward to enjoying the experience here, but one day moving on, right? It is something that we want to invest in, and we're very excited to be part of your journey. But then that kind of moving on also happens amongst our lecturers. So today we are making an announcement. We announced it amongst our staff, but it's very important to also let you know, maybe some of you know, that during the summer, 2 of our key staff members will be leaving. Did you know? Maybe some of you knew. And that is Dr. Eike Müller, who accepted a position to teach at Andrews University. And who else do you think? Can you guess? And Dr. Lubika Müller, who will be serving as the new director of Andrews University Press. So it is sad, but we're also excited for them. We're thankful for their contributions, and I think that it's been a positive experience. We had a lot of things that we were able to do, and teaching students, that's always something that will remain in your heart, and shaping the minds of young people, and some not so young, but preparing them for ministry. And Luby, representing the department that actually is the face of the college, all the many trips, and I know that many students were involved in this. So beautiful memories have been made, and we thank you for your contributions. This is, by the way, not the official goodbye. As staff, we're going to have our own bash, okay? And we're going to say we're going to convey our thanks, appreciation, and best wishes. But because this is the last assembly, all right, where all the students are here, we thought it would be a good and appropriate opportunity to present you as students with a chance to also express your appreciation and your thanks. So I'm going to invite Laken to come, and I understand she has spoken to some of you, and yeah, she will be speaking on behalf of the students. That's correct? Yeah. And I'm going to ask you something, if you don't mind, to maybe move closer to Luby. So whenever she speaks to the 2 of you, she doesn't have to do this. All right, thank you. I know you're also going to move here, but for now, yeah, thank you.
Hello again. Yes, so just wanted to say on behalf of the students, I gathered like a couple of things that they said, and we wanted to tell you it, because I think what a better way than to express our gratitude towards both of you for being here at Newbold. So, Eike, you explain very clearly, and it is so fun to talk to him or you. This was from one of the students. They say that I like conversations with him. For papers, he gives clear suggestions, good examples, and there are a lot of good things about Eike. He's a very funny guy, willing to be there for students and to help them out. Another student said he helped me learn how to write a proposal, and that helped me in structuring my essays, and also recommended really good books for hermeneutics and academic writing, and a really nice guy. Another student said you have a great sense of humor, and that the way that you talk about God and how you present things is very meaningful, and also that you are a great guest lecturer for our Christian ethics class. Another student said you have incredible style, both of you do, so that's a great thing. One student said that they are very grateful for your enthusiasm and creativity in making sure that each class draws the intention and interest of each student. And just want to say thank you for inspiring creativity in the students, and that we will greatly miss you. Another student said that we are very excited to see to see how God leads both of you and where he will continue to lead you in your ministry. Another student said that we deeply appreciate both of you and how eternally committed you are to encourage students to pursue knowledge, and how you are always willing to defend the faith. And thank you for always being engaging with us in class and always being friendly outside of classes as well. You are very relaxed, very gracious, and very humorous and amusing. And one student also said that you convinced them to convince them to do theology, and that was a huge part of their walk with Christ. And how personable you are, how down to earth you are. You are an amazing person to talk to, both of you are, and that you genuinely seem to enjoy sharing the stuff that you have studied. One student said that you have changed their life and that you are both very knowledgeable people. You have allowed the students to resolve the questions that they have had for many years, and the way that you articulate and relate with theology has always been inspiring and makes them love it even more. And another student said that, I appreciate how you always allow students the freedom to find their voice and their writing style. Luby, I actually wanted to say something as well, because I got the privilege of being able to work alongside with you in the social media department, or marketing department, and Raynal as well. One of the things is, sorry about that, how are you so put together? You just seem so happy all the time and just constantly vibrant and such a joyful person. And we truly want an answer to how that is so possible in such a crazy and exciting environment. You looked very scary at first, but from afar, but when we got to know you, you were the sweetest person ever. That is not meant to be rude or anything. We really love how much you have inspired us, getting to know you, and for me personally, really being pushed out of my comfort zone into doing something that I actually love so much. Thank you so much for that. You are a true inspiration, and seeing how much you love Newbold, and also seeing how much you want to do for this school, has pushed me, and I'm pretty sure the other students, into wanting to do that also for other people, and also just in our walk with Christ and in our ministry in the future. And we want to thank you for being here at Newbold. We love your sunshine personality, and we wish we could get to know you more, and you are such a kind person. And we want to say, on behalf of the students, thank you so much to both of you. I don't know if I can say this, but you are a power couple. So thank you so much for everything. Yes, thank you.
All the best with the exams. Yes, that's what's on your mind. Thank you so much for those kind words. And this is the place that you don't want to be, in a way. The farewell speech, is that? That's not how Danilo called it. Thank you. This was the sign from the back. I am not being heard. This is the place that you don't want to be, namely giving a farewell speech. That's not exactly how Danilo called it, but something along those lines. And so first of all, thank you for the lovely comments, because I think it reflects both humorously but also deeply what we feel. And I do look forward to not this being the last moment, but on Thursday at 4 o'clock. Anybody know what's going to happen? One last time, tea time at 4, right? So there's one more informal opportunity. So since you know that I always go overtime, I know that you are prepared for a long reflection. I did want to kind of, in this last moment, share with you a little bit of a hodgepodge. namely a little bit of everything. As you know, that's what I like to do. A little bit of Greek, right? A little bit of creativity, a little bit of solving a problem, a little bit of challenging our assumptions, a little bit of history, and a little bit of context, and a whole lot of theology. And I'm looking at Jan back there, Jan and Rory, because there'll be a challenge. I'm going to challenge all of the commentaries on a specific text because of a theology that I think supersedes how we understand the text. And of course, it'll be a little personal as well. And what I've titled this for today is the question of what is the point? What is the point of us being here? What is the point of where you're at now? What is the point of exams and papers and assignments and blogs and critiques and all of that? What is the point? What is the point for our policies, our pain and our suffering? What is the point of our joint venture here? Why do we do this? And why do we do it in this fashion? In some ways, it comes down to some guy from 1600 who said, I think, therefore I am. You've heard this phrase. How do you know that you are not in a dream world? How do you know that you are you? How do you know that you exist? And his answer was, if you can critique, if you can rationally struggle and think, if you can rationally argue that all of this could not be, if you can doubt the existence of everything, including to yourself, then you must not be in a dream world. It's all about the mind. If your mind can do that, then you know that you're real. And in some ways, what we do and what your experience is so much engaged with training of the mind, of the thinking, because then we are. Then we exist. And history did not stop with him. And so I want to go one step further and ask, why are we doing it? Just to know that we exist? Do we do all the book critiques just to know who we are? The person that influenced me more than this guy is a book that I read, and I was reminded in a little podcast that I was listening to. Anybody listen to The Moth? Have you heard of The Moth? Moth is a group of people that tell their life story in about 5 minutes. It's a TED Talk about life stories, not about science, but about life stories. And the psychologist shared about his journey, and his journey was the following. He was asked to join and get a new job working in a cancer ward as a psychologist, helping people. And as he's preparing to go there, his doctor says, oh, wait a minute, you have cancer. And instead of going to exactly this hospital as the psychologist that would help people through their suffering, he's the one as a patient in this hospital. And he's struggling with the question, what's the whole point of all of this? And he came to the same person that I had read when I was your age, Viktor Frankl. I don't know if any of you have heard of Viktor Frankl. It's an influential book when I was your age. Man's Search for Meaning. What is the point? And he challenged some of the thoughts that Descartes had, because he realized being in a concentration camp, in fact, he was in 4 concentration camps, being there, he realized that you don't survive the concentration camp because you're intelligent. You survive and you thrive, even in suffering, because you have meaning. So, life is not primarily a quest for pleasure, as Freud put it, I'll let you uncover that. Or a quest for power, as Adler taught, but a quest for meaning. So what we do is about finding meaning. And how do we do that as Christians? Well, Viktor Frankl goes a little further to explain what that meaning is in a little longer quote, and that's why you'll be surprised that I'm using a PowerPoint, right? Being human always points and is directed to something or someone other than oneself. Be it a meaning to fulfill or another human being to encounter, the more one forgets himself by giving himself to a cause to serve or another person to love, the more human he is and the more he actualizes himself. So I want to propose to you that the whole point of all of this is not for your mind, but for your service. What we're ultimately here to do is to do all these crazy, maybe even silly and stupid things, to be better servants. And let me take one of the most challenging passages on this in the New Testament and explore for just a minute a creative solution to a problem. In Acts chapter 6, we have this interesting passage that the leaders are facing, the 12 apostles are coming together, and they're having a problem with the widows. And here in this passage, we now read about service and ministry. But notice there's a little bit of an issue in this story. And that is that it doesn't feel quite right. What is service? You have the passage up here. In these days, when the disciples were increasing in number, a complaint by the Hellenists arose amongst the Hebrews because their widows were being neglected in the daily distribution. And the 12 summoned the full number of the disciples and said, "It is not right that we should give up the preaching of the word to serve tables. Therefore, brothers, pick out from among you 7 men of good repute, full of the Spirit and of wisdom, whom we will appoint to this duty, but we will devote ourselves to prayer and the ministry of the word." And I don't know how you read this passage, but it sounds to me like there's a more important task and a less important task. Does it sound to you like that? In fact, all of the commentaries agree on this perspective. There's more important things and less important things. The more important thing is preaching, teaching, the word, the intellect. Maybe the evangelism or the witnessing. Whatever, all of it is encompassed in that. And the lesser task is serving the tables, right? In fact, one of the most recent commentaries on this, in the Pillar commentary, says there's a primary obligation to serving and only secondary to the serving of tables. Serving, diakoneo, is only secondary. And I wonder if you've gone around in your churches and have you seen a deacon lead a church? No. What do deacons do? They open the door. They carry the water buckets for the communion service. High visibility jackets, yes. Deacons are, well, down there, they do the job of things. They clean up, they pick out the garbage, they wash the dishes, right? And the elders, oh, those are the fancy people that lead the church. And that I find a bit surprising. Do you know why? Because I think this passage has multiple problems. And the passage isn't as easy as it at first appears. The first question is, who are the we? Do you see that? It is not right that we should pick up the preaching of the word. Who is the we? For those of you that are Greek students, you know that we need to have a clear antecedent. What is the antecedent? Quick question. Who's the antecedent? Oh, there's a disciples. There is the 12, right? The 12 summoned the full number of the disciples. Is it the 12? Is it the disciples? Is it the 12 and the disciples? Who is the we? And that would make a big difference. Who should be doing the preaching and the teaching? That's the first question that isn't quite as clear as it at first appears. It also starts with the 12. This is the only reference to the 12 after we've seen the disciples at Pentecost. In fact, in Acts, this is the first, the 12. And then we don't see them afterwards. From now on out, they'll be called the apostles. So is it the 12 or is it the apostles? Who's meant with it? What is meant with a table? We immediately think here of serving tables as somebody who does the job of waitress, exactly. But you know, of course, that tables, when Jesus overturns the tables in the temple, what was he overturning? Food? Money. Is this a reference to treasurers, which we would say is an important function, or is this a function to waitress, a waiter or waitress? It isn't that clear, and commentaries argue back and forth. What is being meant here? Is it actually a financial thing that's happened, or is it these waiters? Also, what is meant with the food and the serving of tables, even if it was food, which probably it is, because the issue is about food. We think about food as sustenance. We go to McDonald's, give me a burger, let me move on. Give it to me in the drive-thru. Let's make this quick. I have to move on. But for the ancients, for the first century, food was covenant. You went to the temple to sacrifice because you were having a meal with God. Table fellowship is not kind of sustenance. It's on the go, a sandwich. It's not a meal deal. This was covenant. Craig Keener and some others have done some amazing work on what it means to do table fellowship. This is Lord's Supper. This is covenant language. This isn't just haphazard. The first century was full of these references, both temple language as well as the trade guilds. You would go and you would have a feast with the gods at your trade guild. That's why you wouldn't join a trade guild if you were maybe somebody like Paul running around as a tent maker. So even this idea of food is much more than we would think about it. And then there are the Greek words that we have here, and if we can have the next slide, there's two words that we barely see in the Greek, in the English. Should we give up and we will devote? These two words, the first one is katalampsantas. Does it mean to leave behind or does it mean to diminish? This is diminishing to us, or we are already dedicated into a ministry that is important and we can't do two things. Is this, oh, this is just goes on the side, or is this, we're already so invested in our ministry at the moment? The second word is even more interesting. The word comes from to continue something. What we see here is it appears 6 times in Acts, always in the context of continuing to something. Should it say, but we will continue ourselves to prayer, or is it this elevation of we're very devoted, we are the monks that are devoted to our special ministry and you're just doing lower level work? Or is it we're committed to continue what we've already been doing? So what is it, diversification or hierarchy? And we read it immediately from the perspective of hierarchy. And that's what most of the commentaries say. But there's 2 times that this word service is used. Can we go back one slide? Here it is listed in this translation as one is service, the other is ministry. Both of the times it's from the same root of diakonos or diakonia. Both of those times. It's actually exactly the same word. Both of them are treated surprisingly equal. What is this service? Is it different things or is it the same thing? Is there a lower level table ministry and a higher level preaching ministry? Or is it just one ministry that just reveals itself in different ways? If we now go into the theology of service, service is much bigger than this one difficult passage where people have made this hierarchical distinction. We, of course, know that Jesus came to serve, not to be served. Jesus' whole ministry is one of service. It doesn't actually specify what kind of service, and it would be nice for us to, the more hierarchical, the better one. But was it that? Surprisingly, when we look at Paul, Paul talks about what his service is. What is his service? To look after the poor. In Galatians chapter 2, that same group of 12 meet with Paul and they say, never forget to be of service to the poor. And Paul says, that is what I committed to. And so in 2 Corinthians, he spends 2 chapters just talking about what he will call in Romans 15 his ministry, which is, my service is to take care of the impoverished, to look after the poor, to do table fellowship, in other words. Paul does not differentiate. Preaching of the word and serving the poor are exactly the same thing throughout Paul's entire ministry. It isn't one different than the other. His collection is called the diaconia. It is service, and it actually combines both the financial and the food. He's bringing finances through the elders to the community in Jerusalem to help the impoverished church, meant to unite the group all together. Service is at the core of everything. In fact, if we go to 1 Timothy, where we have the elders and the deacons, in essence, they parallel each other in their qualifications, with one big difference. They're supposed to show hospitality, food. And who is supposed to do that? Surprise, surprise, the elders. It's not listed amongst the deacons, but it is amongst the elders. We've quickly come to see a distinction, but is it actually a distinction that we see here? And so we come to that into this framework. Is the apostles' statement universal? All elders are up here and the deacons are below, or is it we share different ministries? And maybe then the context would actually help us, because the 12 have so far been doing what? Preaching and teaching in the temple. They have been sharing about what they experienced with Jesus. They have a specific ministry and are qualified to it because they're Jews. But here we have a new context, the Hellenists. And who are the people that are elected as the 7? All Hellenistic names. They recognize something about themselves in this context. This is not, how I read it, a universal statement about a hierarchy of ministries, but it is the same ministry. And in that sense, we would understand it as the 12 recognizing this is a group of people that we are not equipped to help with effectively because we are of different contexts, because we currently have a running ministry, but we want to enable people on equal terms to join us in this ministry. And this resolves one of the biggest problems, because we never see the 7 actually being waiters. What do we see them doing? Preaching and teaching. Philip and Stephen are having visions and are having prophetic statements. And many people have said, they're out of bounds. They're doing what the apostles are doing. How dare they? Because they're only supposed to be waiters. And if we actually see this as a contextual theological thing, it suddenly makes sense. They were doing the right thing, and both things belong together. They're part of the spiritual journey of ministry altogether. In history, this has been used differently. Today, we see the same issue pan out in the story of Phoebe. Phoebe is a person who is identified as a deacon. And people say, well, she's not an elder. Although the text says she's eldering, she is standing before, she's leading her community. The verb is being used of being an elder, while she's also a deacon. the resolution would be very simple. She is a servant to the community, and she does that through leading the community. We've denigrated her because we have this hierarchy. Deacons are just lower than elders, but that is not a New Testament context. We have also used this today to make deacons a secondary ministry, not a primary ministry. In the 2nd and 4th century, if we look at the writings of Hippolytus, of Clement, and Ignatius, we actually see that there was an opposite thing. They had not understood it this way, how we initially read it, because in their setting, the deacons were above the elders. The deacons were helpers to the bishops, who oversaw the elders, and therefore the deacons were actually higher ranked than the local elders. So what we've produced is a situation out of maybe a simplistic reading here. So maybe the better reading would be, all are called to serve. Service is equal no matter what you do. Whether it is cleaning or waiting upon, whether it's preaching or teaching. And then the context would be the 12 currently have a mission that they need to continue and are ill-equipped to help the Hellenist widows. And that, I hope, would fit into a better picture of the theology of service in the New Testament. So what is the point? Well, let me tell you about 3 stories of my ministry, very briefly. I had an old sister in church. She was the organist. She was half blind, and she knew it. She would apologize every Sabbath for playing so slowly. She said, I can't play any faster because I can't see the notes more quickly than I'm playing them. And I said, you're making great music to God. It doesn't matter how fast or slow it is. Your service is worship to God, not performance in church. Or I had Doris. Doris had a full-time job, but what she did was to help kids with homework every afternoon, because she made a deal with these kids on the street. I'll help you with your homework if you come to Pathfinders. And out of that group, we baptized and made several pastors. Not because of what I did as a pastor, but because what she did in homework with the kids. That was service. The baptism, that was just a result of that. That's serving and waiting. Or there was this old sister who could barely do anything anymore, but she could cook and bake. And so she took care of after-school kids that were just roaming the city streets, migrant kids, and joined a program where our church would take one day out of the week, and the Lutherans and the Methodists would take other days, and we would feed kids and play with them. And that ministry became so influential that it made the church thrive. A church that had an average age of over 60 turned into a church with an average age of late 30s, early 40s. Because one woman said, I'm going to go and bake cookies. Serving tables is no less of a ministry. It might be a greater ministry than preaching or teaching or standing up here. My words had less impact than the cookies of this woman. So what is service? And what is the point of this? Treasure the training of your intellect. But no dissertation will feed a hungry person. Value the engagement with thinkers, but recognize that a good book critique is not service. Appreciate the smell and sight of a good book, but remember, Jesus didn't come primarily to educate or lead, but to serve. All of what you do here is only a small part of the journey. All that we do in the classes is just that abstract thinking about things. And that is vital and important, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. But it is only that step to make you good servants and good leaders. It is the abstract thing. This is what Jesus would say, whoever has ears, let him hear. But it is in the streets of Bracknell and in the shelters of Budapest and the prisons of Dublin where service happens, where the doing actually happens. And so that's how I've understood what I want to do, and maybe that'll explain or not explain. People will not necessarily understand why you make the choices that you do, if you make them out of service. Henry Nouwen was a Yale professor who said, I'm leaving my job to serve the mentally disabled. If you don't know him, talk to Danilo, because Danilo and I share a passion for his ministry after. Nobody said that's a right choice. You're climbing the ladder of success by going to the mentally disabled? What a nonsense. You have the greatest mind, and you're going to the mentally disabled? What's wrong with you? Service will not be understood all the time. When we first went into the mission field to the Philippines, some of our family members said, "You are crazy. You're out of your mind. You have a 1-year-old kid and you're going to a country that has cobras, earthquakes, tsunamis, hurricanes. Are you insane? Are you still in your right mind?" And we said, "We're going to serve." Before we came here, we received 2 calls at the same time, and we had to make a choice. And somebody told us in that process of making a choice, I had an opportunity to be dean on one, or come here, and somebody said, "Oh, it's obvious that other place is not the best. We are the best. And because we're best, therefore the choice is obvious." But that is misunderstanding what service is. Service is about humility, not about greatness. It is about recognizing where you stand and who you are, and where you can best serve with the gifts God has given you. It's not about being great. And so the place that I'm going to, some have come and said, "Oh, you're going up and increasing, you're going up the ladder." And that's not why we are going. It is to serve. In this case, to serve the world because of the experience that we've had before. Service might not always be understood. So as you finish the semester, it's easy to get lost in the pain and the memorization, in the battle for good marks. It's easy to go for, well, let me just survive. Or it might be the journey to the graduation where you're all in, how can I get my distinction or my honors? And all of those are to be celebrated. But all of that means nothing if it hasn't made you more humble, more meek, more willing to serve. And so James concludes by reminding us of that, reflecting on the Sermon on the Mount. He says, there it is, "But be doers of the word, not hearers only, because otherwise you're deceiving yourself." It doesn't even matter whether you're called René Descartes or not. Only in service, in doing, do we find the point of all of this. Let's have a word of prayer and close. make me a servant, humble and meek. Lord, let me lift up those who are weak. And may my prayer be, and all of our prayers, that you make us a servant to the community today. Amen.
Thank you, Ike, for that. Thank you, Ike. We'll have time for proper farewells. We have just one final thing, and I know it's time for lunch, but this is so important. It's the final group photo of the year. All right? It's a nice tradition for the last few years, so if we can do it in literally 3 minutes, we are wonderful. 4 minutes, that's fine. All right, so if I can invite everyone to come just in front, and we'll take a nice group photo to remember this year together.